take. Don't need to beg, steal or borrow. Watch me as I walk this way. I'm busy building.
What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna talk about my bike. It's my little review. I've had it since November. It is end of July, and I've put about 15,000 miles on it, so put quite a few miles on it. I've done a few long road trips as well. I did 3,000 miles, almost 3,000 miles. There's a six-part video I got of that trip. So let's do a review. 2018 Yamaha Star eluder. I have the GT version, which it's got the fog lights, heated seats, navigation, XM radio, all the bells and whistles, except for I don't have heated grips. And honestly, I would trade my heated seat for heated grips any day, especially going through it this winter. First of all, I'm a small guy. This bike weighs at 875 pounds. When I go on the road, I pack about closer to 1,000 pounds with all the gear that I pack. So let's talk about storage first. It's got a lot of storage. I got a compartment here, compartment down here. Easy access while you ride. It's good for things. I mean, I hold my battery chargers in there. Oh, and it does have a battery plug or charger outlet right there. So everything's really easy to access. Push a button. Everything also locks. When you lock your bike, everything locks. And I got big saddlebags on the back, really big saddlebags. I can put an 18 pack in there. I actually take this bike grocery shopping quite a few times. So it's got a lot of storage. Okay, let's handling. This bike, for as heavy as it is, it handles amazing. It's got a long wheelbase, so you have to get used to going in the corners or like right head turns. You really have to lean the bike, and it will lean pretty good. The footstand, or the kickstand on it, I noticed when I went to did the Tail of the Dragon, it dragged, but then it's on the left side, so I didn't drag it all on the right side. I did drag it on the left side, and I looked, and it was mainly my kickstand. Slow maneuver, like parking lot maneuvers, slow maneuvers are incredibly easy on this bike. It wants to stay up, where you do not notice the weight at all. I had a Yamaha Star 1700, and that bike was about 100 pounds lighter than this bike. Maybe a little more, but that bike did not handle nowhere near as good as this bike. And with the fixed fairing, you don't have the weight of the whole fairing on your handlebars, so it makes it super easy to go into corners, to the slow maneuvers in the parking lots. It's just amazing. This bike feels like it's 500 pounds. It's super well balanced. All the weight is below, and about 6 inches off the ground. I'm not sure, but all the weight is really down low. Very well balanced bike. No, there's a cop. Of course, Dallas did put on your siren so people can hear you. Dumbass. Oh my god, he almost hit that car. What a dumbass. What a fucking dumbass. Wow. These Dallas cops are unreal. I mean, these people don't see him, and he just pulls out in the middle of the intersection, almost got hit. Anyways, back to where we were. Let's talk about the power. Now, I don't know why, but they have tuned this bike down. It has an incredible amount of untapped power. First, with the RPMs, it redlines at 47.5. Stupid. Now, my buddy has a Raider. It's got the same motor. It's a V-twin Hemi, 1900 cc's, 113 cubic inch. Yeah, you heard me right. It's a Hemi. It's got hemispherical heads on it. It's a very torquey motor, 126 foot-pounds of torque. But it's only 85 horsepower. And I don't get it. Now, people get the Ivan's Flash tuner and they get 115 horsepower out of this motor that redlines at 5700 RPM, and the torque is way up there as well. I can't remember the exact numbers. This bike, I mean, just the way it sits, it's got plenty of power for everything you need to do. This bike goes. The torque in it on it is just unreal, and it's a lot of fun. And yeah, so it's got plenty of power. That's not something you would ever have to worry about on this bike, even stock. Now, I am going to do the Ivan's Flash tuner, and but that's mainly because my buddy with the Stage 3 114 gives me a lot of shit, and they're like, oh, your bike's big and slow, it's a granddad's bike. Well, fuck you, dude. What the good lord. This bike sounds amazing too. I got the baffles on it. But yeah, that's the only reason I'm doing it. Do I need it? Absolutely not. Even when I pack it up, it still has plenty of punch. It cruises. It likes to cruise at 85 miles an hour on the highway at 3,000 RPM. I mean, it's awesome. And you get about 45 miles to a gallon on it. It's got a large tank, 6.5 gallons. Okay, now let's do transmission on this bike. It's got a sport mode. I guess this is more power and transmission, but it's got a sport mode, it's got a touring mode. The sport mode, you definitely tell the difference between two. It's throttle by wire, and in sport mode it is super reactive. I mean, if you're not on your toes, if you're not ready to, you know, if you're not used to it, it'll take off on you. Touring mode, when you give it gas, it just slowly, very smoothly delivers power, which is great, especially on long trips. I keep it in touring mode. When I'm in the city, I keep it in sport mode if I need to just punch it and get out of the way. Hey, bike, is that a Versus? I think that's a Versus. Anyways, the transmission, 6-speed transmission. I have never ridden a bike. It's a V-Storm. Nice. I've never ridden a bike where you don't have to use your clutch to upshift and downshift so easily. I know everybody can do it, but this bike does it effortlessly. It is, especially after you get past second gear, it does it. You don't have to use your clutch. You can just use your foot. It is absolutely effortless. This guy's gonna block my whole view. I'm gonna have a feeling I'm gonna be sitting here through old lights. But in any case, yeah, great transmission. I love it. It's you get whatever you want out of it. It's very smooth, very good. Of course, it's Yamaha. It's what they do. It has, so this bike also has traction control, and it's got a double slipper. It's got a slipper clutch. Traction control is phenomenal. If I didn't have traction control, I have no idea how many times I would have just lost it going around the corner and gunning it in the back end, just coming loose. It has ABS. The ABS is amazing. I've ridden BMWs with ABS. This is way better. I don't know why. I just like the way this handles better, especially when you're in an emergency situation. It also has linked brakes, so when you put on your front brake, it puts on your back brake for you. So most of the time, unless I'm slow maneuvering, I don't use my rear brake. I just use my front brake, and it perfectly, I mean, it is absolute perfection how it distributes the load. Now, slow maneuvers, I use my rear brake, and it works just the same. And if you're uphill, I don't know if you guys can hear it, and you just let out the clutch, the motor speeds up. It won't let itself die. This is a great bike. If you guys have any questions about this bike, whether it's worth it or not, just feel free to leave me a message. My only complaint about this bike is tires are expensive. Everything's expensive. They only made it for 1 year, and it's hard to find aftermarket parts for this bike. Yeah, and the heat on the left side is almost unbearable. Now, there are remedies for it, and I'm gonna address that once I get it addressed, but they make stuff for it to where it diverts the heat. People install fans on it, and that makes a world difference. But yeah, those are really my only two complaints about this bike. It sounds good, it handles good, it's got plenty of power. The safety technology on it is unmatched. I think it's amazing. Comes with navigation, XM, radio, Pandora, Bluetooth, everything. So the stereo on this bike is also great. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm doing a trip to Arkansas, doing the Big Trail and the Talamina Byway here next week. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe, comment if you have any questions, throw them at me. I'll do my best to answer them.